What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. I got some pretty interesting news, and mainly I just want to go over some stuff with you guys and talk with you because I want to keep you in the loop about everything, especially about this project, because we got a lot of history about it. So before I do begin, these blue 66 hats are in all different styles: dad caps, snapbacks, and the trucker hats. So if you want, go purchase them right now. Limited quantity only. So once these are gone, and you know what the occasion is for, as well as this hoodie. So go grab this one too. This one's a special limited series as well. So once these go, I won't be having them on the store anymore. So today's video, we're going to be talking about Vader episode 2. I just got off the phone with my producer, and it was a very lengthy conversation. It was a very needed conversation, and there's a lot I want to go over with you guys and just kind of be transparent and let you know what's going on. So, and I need your guys' opinion on what actually I should do. So hear me out. It's going to be a bit of a long video, so sit back, chill out, and here we go. So we talk on the phone, and he kind of stops me before we go anywhere, and he says, look, I read your script. Before you say anything, I just want you to know that what you did with the Vader episode 2 cinematic, that the 3-minute one I did with Mace Windu and the clones, he's like, I think you kind of cracked the code there, where you made something that didn't limit you at all. With the first one, there were limitations and there were things that went wrong that didn't go to your design and how you wanted. Like, for example, one of the things, I wanted that window to be gargantuan, like huge. It didn't happen. I was very green going into the movie making scene back then, and I should have been more like a hawk over things, and that's just how it happens when you're crunched for time. The time management and everything, it didn't work out. So I've learned from a lot of those mistakes, but still I feel like the story was told the way I wanted it to be told for the first one, and that's really all I care about. But I like things to be how I wanted them, how I signed off on them to be. So going forwards, episode 2 is really huge, the script wise. Like, there is so much in there that there are things in there that haven't been done in Star Wars yet. There are things in there that'll make you cry, make you go, wow. A lot of very, very hardcore fighting. A lot of story intertwined in the fighting. Why is Vader doing what he's doing? Why is Mace doing what he's doing? There's a story in there with the Jedi. There are several Jedi who have survived Order 66, and they even have an arc themselves. And without giving too much away, how does this all tie into where we're at, which is Naboo, which is Padme's tomb? What happens? Mace Windu obviously has a vendetta. He obviously has a agenda, a mission, and he is the last Jedi. He is the last hope. So we'll see really what becomes of these characters and how this fan film will evolve their plotline, their arcs, in a fan film setting, of course. None of this is canon. So he said, if you do it CGI, you won't have any boundaries whatsoever. You can create whatever you want, and you can get started tonight. Just call up the old VFX crew, actually the new VFX crew, and begin from the script. There's still some things on the script I want to clean up and change, but it's pretty much done. And I'm really happy with where it's at. I've been tinkering with it for like 3 years. I'll continue to tinker with it till the day I'm literally shooting on set. So he said, if you do a cinematic, kind of like an Old Republic cinematic, it'll look really good. The characters will look more like how the actors actually look, which is really just Mace Windu. You won't be limited by any sort of world events. You won't be limited by sets or anything that you have to build, or actors or whatnot. It'll be much cheaper than live action, and the story will be told how you want it to be told. Now, if you go live action, I told him, I'm like, well, he's like, just don't say anything yet. I'm like, okay, well, fine. He said, if you go live action, it's going to take 6 to 8 months or more just to order the costumes. We're going to have to plan everything out. We're going to have to fly all the actors up here, lodge them, pay for each one of their hotels, pay for their tickets, pay for their transportation, all that stuff. We're going to have them come up here early and do the choreography, then go back down home and wherever they're at. We're going to have to build sets. We're going to have to plan all of this stuff accordingly and work backwards, essentially, from when you want this thing out. So if I start ordering custom-made costumes and multiple Vader suits, because some of them will get, banged up a bit. Some of these are even specialty costumes. You know, some of these are specialty clone costumes that are made of foam, you know, so the stunt actors can actually like move in them. Whereas in the first one, like we had some of our buddies doing it, and they were in their like their cosplay costumes that they worked hard to build and create, and they were not going to, you know, destroy that. So for this one, I definitely need to get my own costumes that can be destroyed or can be tossed around, you know. So that's definitely something that I need to take into consideration. So that's going to be, you know, the specialty ones themselves can be like one a month. Those makers probably have other projects that they're working on as well. So the costume thing is going to take a while in itself, you know, at least 6 months for everything. You know, we got 10 Jedi, man. We got like, I don't know how many clone troopers in there. We got a lot of clone troopers. We got grunts, we got 501st, we got a lot. We got Sidious, we've got Mace Windu, we've got Vader. All these guys need extra clothing, multiple versions of their own clothing. We've got rain, we've got fire, we've got smoke. We need basically plethora of stunt actors. We need cranes. We need, you name it, man. This one has it. Like, we need sets to be built in like a mausoleum style. We need green screen galore. You know, the post-production for this thing is probably going to be, well, I don't know, 6 months at least. So if that means I start getting the costumes in the fall of 2022 or the winter of 2022, let's say we start ordering, let's say we start planning in the fall of 2022. So like September, October, November. Let's say by this time next year, the costumes are in and we're pretty much ready to go, give or take a few months, probably give a few months. So that would bring us up to like April or May 2023. We start filming in the summer of 2023 in Vancouver, probably. I mean, I have my own VFX supervisor here, who's my buddy, and he's worked on a lot of just, you guys will know more about him later. And he's got a lot of connections in himself. If we shoot in Florida, Mark has a lot of connections with Stagecraft, and you know, I'd love Mark's going to be on the project regardless of where we film. He's going to be helping out because he's been in the film industry for so many years. He knows what he's doing too. So going forwards from there, you know, the live action will be so much more expensive, so much more difficult, so much more limited. Just, I mean, if you don't want it to be limited, it's going to be more expensive. He was telling me how Star Wars is minimum $1 million a minute. So, and, you know, the movies are like 2 hours long. It's a big undertaking. It's a big decision, but ultimately I'd like to go, and this is where you guys come in. I'd like to go live action. I just feel like it'll tell the story better. I feel like it's just going to be more fun, and I've had it in my mind to do it live action since the very beginning, and I don't think it would be kind of funny if the first one's live action and the second one is a cinematic. I just don't know if it really, like for the shorts and stuff, like that's fine. You know, the stuff that I'm doing, which I'm right now also creating another Vader cinematic, which that one costs about 20 grand in itself. But that one's like a 2-minute thing. It's like the Mace Windu one, but it's now we're just covering Vader's story as he jumps in the hole. And that'll probably be out in May for you guys, probably a couple months. I want to do live action, but I want to know what you guys think. Like, do you think I should do cinematic? Like, do you think I should go CGI, the whole thing? Like, we could do some mocap in there. We would have to. It really wouldn't limit me at all. I could do literally any force power I want in that story, in that script, and there's some pretty cool ones right now, but I just want to do live action. I legitimately just want to do live action. I think it's just going to it's just going to read better. That script was made for live action. The emotions on the faces and stuff, I don't know. I don't have that much experience with CG. I'm learning more and more as I go along. I'd just like to hear your thoughts. So this is kind of the pipeline. Definitely a decision, you know, do I go this way, which is cheaper and faster, or do I go this way, which is longer and harder, but it's, in my opinion, for my vision, gonna yield a better result. I also have to take into consideration the events of the world, and you know, how do I know how things are gonna end up? Like, it's always, you never know. So I'm at mercy of that. So I don't really know what to do, but I want to go live action. And if we're going to do that, then probably in the fall, we'll start to, we'll plan in the summer, and in the fall, we'll start to order all of the costumes and everything, and, you know, get them kind of figured out, and just have like a very direct outline and detailed outline of everything that I need with my producer. And he's going to be facilitating a lot of that stuff, and he's the same producer from the first one. For this one, as you know, I'm going to be directing it, so this is my first time directing live action besides my TikTok videos. So yeah, I think I'll do fine. I think I'll be okay. I had a long discussion with Steve Oudkirk in 2020, January of 2020, before all this stuff. And he invited me to his studio as he was working on one of his projects, and which I'm excited for you guys to see. It's not out yet. I had doubts about directing. He's like, I think you should do it. I really think you should do it. And he's been kind of helping me along the way, mentally and stuff. And having someone like that, that big. I mean, this guy wrote and directed Ace Ventura 2, Nutty Professor. Created Jimmy Neutron. I mean, I'm very thankful for the people that I have kind of supporting me on this, and the mental support that telling me like, you can do this, like go ahead and do it, and rock it, man. Like if it bombs, it bombs, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, and I don't think it will. So I have a very clear outline. Like, I mean, I've been practicing with fan fictions kind of in my head for all my life and on the channel, and I feel like I know what I want. I see what I want in my head, and I kind of know how to do it, or like I know what I want on screen and how I want it to look. So obviously I'll have professionals around me who have been in the film industry for a long time, and I feel like they'll be helping me. I'll have a bunch of ADs, assistant editor, assistant directors. I'll definitely be listening to them as well. But when it comes to the shots and stuff, like I kind of just know what I want, and I know what I want to see. So we'll see what happens. $500,000, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I really want to do this. I want to do this for myself. I want to do it for you guys. It's obviously it's not going to be done now. It's going to be probably a year to 2 years until you actually have it. In order to get there, I'm starting now, or I've been starting for years ago. So that's the update. Just want to know if you guys think I should do cinematic or live action. I'm voting for live action, but I'm always open to what you guys have to say, because it is for you as well, after all, as much as it is for me. So love you guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.